But impressive. Maybe they worked at the phone company. It's probably nothing to worry about. It's probably nothing to worry about.
Hello, fellow Araxians. The theme for today is water under the bridge. You know, we don't know exactly how it came about that Planetside 3, the third installment of the Planetside series, would be an arena shooter. You know, I see a lot of people in the community blame the C-level executives, the upper management, right? They're just paper pushers that have no idea what's going on. They had the idea, they pushed the concept, and everyone else just had no say and followed along blindly. I would expect the corporate bungle of Planetside Arena is more complex than that. It may very well start with a general manager or a C-level executive asking their development teams, hey, what's going on? Give me a status report. How your game's doing? What do you guys want to work on? And they give their feedback, and they may even go so far as to say, hey, we have this great title, Planetside 2. It's got a dedicated fan base. Now that H1Z1 is dwindling, we'd really like to get back to working on that. And they might say something like, okay, cool. That sounds really great. We'd really like to support your desire to work on that title. Can you guarantee me that you'll be able to deliver these impossible financial goals that we expected this acquisition of Daybreak Games to keep returning because we were looking at the numbers when H1Z1 was in its prime? After all, even general managers, C-level executives, they all have bosses, whether it's the board members or investors, whether they're in the private or public sector. And a producer or executive producer would understandably say, well, no, Planetside 2 won't be able to deliver those numbers. And then upper management would say, okay, well then what do you got for me? If the titles we have can't do it, then we got to make a new title that can. I really like that loot crate system you guys added into Planetside. Really seems like the fans have spent a lot of money on it. I also really like the whole Battle Royale thing of H1Z1. We had so many people playing it. And then a producer or executive producer might say, well, we could do something with Planetside. And we could make it have a Battle Royale mode. And we could add loot crates to it. That might do it. And then these middle management guys have to go down to the doers, right? That's your coders and your designers, and say, hey, this is what we're doing. And they probably spoke up and said something like, whoa, dudes, you guys know the Planetside community is going to be frickin' pissed. They're going to hate this. Are we really sure we want to do this? Why don't we just work on Planetside 2? And then the middle management say, well, here's the targets we have to hit, and we just don't see any possible way to do that with Planetside 2. This is the option we have to continue making games and continue having jobs. Work on a title that might, snowball's chance in hell, deliver these extremely unrealistic financial goals. And who knows how exactly it all went down between managers and doers, but what ends up happening is a train leaves the station that's doomed for a massive collision, and there's no one in the entire corporate structure that has the job of pulling that lever that is the brake. Upper management can't go to their investors and say, well, we're out of luck. We paid, we acquired this company. We have no way of delivering the financial results that we were seeing when we bought it. They have to go and say, hey, we're developing this new hot thing that'll do it, don't worry. And there's no way for middle management to say, hey, yes, Planetside 2 will deliver those results, because they know it won't. And a year and a half ago, I really called on the doers to stand up and say something. Hey, guys, don't let this game go. But for someone at the bottom of the totem pole to actually do that is no more than dying on their own sword. Branding themselves as unmanageable, not a team player, a wild card. At best, being let go. At worst, being let go with a bad reference. And basically having to entirely exit the industry. So I picture all the teams of employees at Daybreak Games in a train engine. They're all staring ahead at the obstacle on the rail, and they're looking down at the brake lever, and they're looking at the obstacle, and then they're looking down at the brake lever, and then back at the obstacle. Everyone praying somehow they'll miss or avoid the obstacle, but no one really allowed to touch the brake and just say, hey guys, we just gotta stop. This isn't gonna work. We have to go and realign our expectations. I'm sorry we don't have the same financial return capabilities that we did at H1Z1's peak. We can still have a solid core business if we take care of our fans on our classic titles. But the lever never gets pulled, the DBG train crashes, layoffs, and now we're here. Obviously, every one of the fans, everyone outside of Daybreak Games is like, well, duh, I could have called that for you 2 years ago. We did call it for you 2 years ago and saved you a lot of trouble and a lot of money. But you know what? I think most people in Daybreak Games feel the same way, from upper management down to the doers. So this Twitch stream today represents them limping back to their classic title, because that's all that's left. And the only option for us as fans is that everything that happened in the past has to be water under the bridge. Whether it was a patch that really degraded your performance, or maybe it was a balance pass like the Combined Arms Initiative, or it was the port to PS4 that really changed how flight controls worked. Maybe it was implants bringing in a serious lottery loot crate grind. Or maybe it was just the decision to make Planetside 3 a battle royale. All those things for Planetside fans set the development company, Daybreak Games, in the negative. Make up some arbitrary scale and set them down in the negatives at a disappointing number. No matter what the past is, the only option we have now is for all of that to be water under the bridge. That is something that is past, is gone, and no longer affects us. We have to take Daybreak Games back to zero. A new start, a fresh start. We have to imagine it's a completely different company, a completely different team working on it. Now, I don't want to go so far as to say trust, right? Don't just be dumb about it. But at least to the point where it's not like, well, why don't you just undo all those bad things you did? That it's more like, hey, this would be a good direction to go in. What about this, this, and this idea? Even if you're suggesting things the game had in the past, then at least we're moving forward from the existing point rather than rehashing what went wrong. Today, we get a dev stream with the new, old team. Sounds like they're going to show off a sniper rifle. I am worried it's going to be NSO specific, then not very exciting. But as long as it's just an NS weapon and more people can use it, then cool. We get a new weapon to grind out. And they're going to be showing us the NS Sanctuary, something I am very excited for. My big fear is it's going to be very Phase 1-esque, and I think a lot of Planetside people are very exhausted of Phase 1 type of deals. They want complete content, but we will see where that is at. And then I would also suspect they have something that they haven't leaked anything about up their sleeves to build a little more hype. So now that we have the remainder of the team, and a team that was slightly bigger than what we had before, we basically have to take them out of the negative from the past and set them back at zero, and give them a chance to show us that they can still do something great with this awesome title. And when the stream is complete, I will be summarizing it all here, giving you the full details. That's all for now, fellow Araxians. Until next time, I will see you Planetside.